Thank you, Chair. I'm questioning about procrastination and the concomitant risk of reputational damage to the GCP. Some 70% of Making Connections consultees supported the proposals for bus improvements and fare reductions. Moreover, 51% of those who opposed or strongly opposed the sustainable travel zone supported these proposals. Do members agree that procrastination will effectively be a decision to tolerate further decline in bus services? Our region's network is 20% smaller than pre-pandemic, and a decision to continue to tolerate aggravated traffic congestion and consequent pollution. That this would be a decision to ignore the clear public message of strong support for sustainable transport, bringing further reputational damage to the GCP. Currently, the revised package of measures are the best way forward to keeping our city moving by reducing congestion and also providing a reliable, sustainable, locally controlled funding source that is so urgently needed to deliver better, sustainable transport options. Affordable, frequent, convenient bus services cannot rely solely on fare box revenue, nor on sporadic, precarious central government grants. When politicians are seeking re-elections, what will you say to the vast majority of your electorate who are desperate for improved public transport? Now, whatever the remarks in some quarters, are council against offering free ice creams and cuddly puppies? I mean, leaving aside the animal welfare obligations, it could be the electoral offence of treating. But what will you say? Will you say, oh, the car lobby was very, very noisy, and they had all these people coming in from Oxford complaining about low traffic neighbourhoods, and we had the anti-vaxxers there, and the anti-5G brigade, and Piers Corbyn? I don't think that's a good enough response. We've had, over many decades, just see Anthony Carpen's Lost Cambridge blog post, a variety of proposals to improve public transports and to tackle traffic congestion, which have been considered, suspended and abandoned. There should be no more delays. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. To Mr Wood from the Cambridge Area Bus Users Group. Yes, you are broadly correct. To improve bus services needs two fundamental things. It needs money to support subsidy of services that aren't commercially viable, and it needs road space to allow public transport to be reliable and reasonably speedy. And it needs both of those things at once. As you point out on revenue, the proposals for the STZ aim to deliver a reliable, long-term, locally controlled source of funding that doesn't currently exist in the same way, which would allow people to rely on a bus network to continue to operate the services that it expects. As we said, there's currently 50 million of the City deal notionally set aside for investment in ramping up bus services before any proposed STZ were to come into action. That's sort of allocated conditionally on the expectation that there would need to be a long-term funding source to come in behind it to continue that on once the money had run out. Otherwise, it would be not advisable to spend that money without knowing that you could sustain those services.